Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Money Monday, and as of right now, we have 102 participants on the line. We're also streaming live on Facebook on the Renatus Team Elevate Facebook page. So that's really exciting. So not only 104 on here, but we probably have some over there as well. I don't have that pulled up right now. So that's really exciting. We've got a lot of people here. Make sure that you reach out to your team, and we don't want any ICMs left behind. These trainings are such a wonderful way to start your morning and also to get newer people on board with what's going on around the country and just keep everyone plugged in. All right, so today we get to learn from Michael Huggins. I am so very grateful for both Michael and Vanessa. They are dear friends of mine, and they are the reason that I'm a part of Renatus, and I'm just grateful that they thought enough of me to bring me onto their team. A little bit of Michael's history. Michael was very frustrated before he found Renatus, and he was broke, and he had done everything that he was told to do right as far as going to school, getting good grades. He even got specialized education in auto mechanics because he loves cars. And after spending time in school, getting his good grades, he went and found a job, and he ended up working at two jobs. He worked at Jiffy Lube and he worked at Sears Auto. Two jobs that definitely don't require an auto mechanics degree. And so with the student loan debt that he had, he'd been paying that down for quite a while and checked the balances and noticed that the balance had hardly even changed, and he'd just been paying a lot of interest that whole time. Michael was riding his bicycle, not even his bicycle, he was riding his brother's bicycle to work and hiding it in the bushes because at the time he couldn't afford a car. He was living in his girlfriend's mother's basement, which was Vanessa at the time. And again, broke and frustrated. Michael ended up finding Renatus. He was looking for something else and learned about real estate investing. He ended up finding this amazing company, and he got to work. Within a few months, I want to say about 9 months, he completed his first transaction, which was a short sale, and not too long after completed another short sale transaction. And those deals enabled him to fire his bosses and to start this new journey with real estate investing. Michael now travels the country, and he is building teams all over. He's working with Salt Lake City, he's working with Denver, he's helped out Scottsdale quite a bit, and he is now a 7-figure income earner with the company. Michael is on the President's Advisory Council with our CEO, Bob Snyder, and we're very, very fortunate to learn from Michael Huggins. I'm excited to see what he has to share with us this morning. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the call. Thanks, Keely. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yeah, here we go. We just had an awesome house tour at Cash Flow Weekend. Ran out of chairs again, and that's always fun. We got to scramble and get some more people standing around. It was awesome. And we're capitalizing on that momentum. We're taking what we learned from our Super Saturday with Bob, applying it throughout this week. We had some killer events, people showing up, people caring, people following up, and we're making a difference. We're making a difference in people's lives. If you're not making a difference while you're making money, you're wasting time. You either make a difference or you make a difference and make some money. That's what we're doing here. So get on board with that. It's going to definitely give you more energy when it comes time to following up with people, right? Keely said she's really happy that I invited her to Renatus and followed up with her, but she didn't tell you is how many times I had to ask for the order, and how many times I had to settle her fears around can she not, and how many the comp plan, and how many times I had to show her just so many different things. Some people are already looking for Renatus, and some people don't know they're looking for it and don't know they need it, but if they stay coachable, they'll see how important real estate investing is for their life. So you keep following up, and you get cool people like Keely on your team. And if you follow up enough, everyone here on the call, if you keep following up, you get enough people on your team to where things happen without you having to lift a finger. So if you feel like you're working really hard and not getting anywhere, you got to focus more on the picture that you're painting with your language. You got to paint this picture of possibilities, right? What vision are you painting for someone such that they say yes versus such that they say no? Well, one of the things that we need to constantly be sharing in our language to ourselves, to our guests, to our family, to our friends, is a huge level of gratitude. Gratitude is one of those attractive vibrations. You're trying to be a magnet and attract people, right? Then you better be grateful, because cynicism, sarcasm, pessimism, all those things repel. And only gratitude attracts. So this is my little magnet here. We are attracting the money. We can only get the money if we're adding value to people. So we're really just trying to add more value to people. So if you're brand new, welcome, welcome. Talk about all kinds of things here. Talk about personal development, health, relationship. Talk about sales. Something interesting that I came across, some stats. The average 65-year-old, now this is not the median or the mean, this is just the average. The average 65 and older person in this country has less than $1,000 in savings. They have a $1,000 catastrophe emergency, and boom, they are out and done. How fragile this is, right? How fragile. And what's crazy is, someone worked 40 years of work to get to 65, right? At least. I was doing a meditation yesterday. I'm sitting there, right? I'm 32. I started working when I was 14. I was like, holy cow, I've been working 18 years and I've only made $3 million? Geez, I got to step it up, right? So that's something to think about. I know some of you have been working since you were 14, 15, 16, right? Then maybe you went to college, so you took a few years off. But I mean, some of us have been working a long time since we were little. And so the question is, why after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years in America do you not have a savings account built up? Well, this huge neglect, right? And the answer, like, why the land of milk and honey, where, I mean, geez, someone flipping burgers is making $16 an hour these days. Why are people still headed towards this financial disaster? Neglect. That's it. They drift along, they neglect their language, they neglect their relationships, they neglect their health, they neglect their bank accounts. This is what Jim Rohn says. He says, if you neglect to do wise things with your time, you probably neglect to do wise things with your money. And if you neglect to do wise things with your money, you probably neglect to do wise things with your relationships. So neglect, no more drifting. It's not the typical, like, people are, man, can you believe that? Average 65-year-old, less than 1,000. I was thinking maybe less than 10,000 or less than 50,000, because even if you have 50,000, that's only going to last you maybe 4 years, maybe 5. If you try to live off of 10,000 a year, maybe your 50 grand will last you 5 years. But these people have $1,000. Got to help them. So they've been neglecting. Drifting along, floating along, neglect. And before you know it, 40 years go by and you're broke. Well, not this crew, not the people on this call, not the folks on this team. And yeah, Anthony, time does fly. Huh? That's a beautiful thing. And I'm excited to see you again. So hurry up and get over here. Okay. So neglect. We need to do wise things with our time. I had an IMA who was like, Michael, I can't come to anything this week. I need to be wise with my time. And I'm like, you're saying being wise with your time is the reason why you're not coming? Well, guess what I'm doing? I'm being wise with my time too. We all gotta be wise with our time. Because time, money, relationships, health, these are all things that we need to be wise with. If you're having struggles with efficient use of time, I'm going to bet that you're either watching TV, and that includes things like Hulu and Netflix. Well, I don't have a TV. Yeah, but you're watching this shit over and over and over. Okay, you're watching TV, or you're playing on Facebook too much, right? You need to be like Nate or like Sandy Girl Clark, people like that on Facebook. Fine, spend some time on it. But the rest of everyone, they're just scrolling and looking and scrolling. That's TV. Stop it. Or video games. And I know a lot of the IMAs here, you cut out video games. That's cool. But your spouse is driving you nuts with the video games, right? Or you're listening to the radio, the blah, 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 blah radio. 17 ads in between 2 songs radio. So all this time has been systematically being sucked away from you if you neglect it. So we need to pay attention and be wise with the time. Okay, in addition to that, the people will do things like also go into the bars on the weekends, spending money and time there. Okay, do you know what all of these have in common? They all have what's called a false sense of control. Right, because you can control how loud the TV is or what channel it's on. You can control how much you're scrolling and what you're liking. You can control the little guy in your video game. These are all false senses of control. Now, why are people seeking a false sense of control? Because their money is out of control. Their time is out of control. Right? These other resources that we talked about, their relationships are out of control and their health is out of control. So this is people's attempt. Instead of actually doing work on these things, they create this false sense of control, and all these things start ruling their lives. We need to cut that out. Now, some of you have been a part of Renatus for 3 months, 6 months, and you haven't done the deal yet. 9 months, 12 months, what's going on? We're going to make a few assumptions that you're probably wasting time with TV, bars, Facebook, video games, radio. I bet. Because if you were really watching your classes and you were really making invitations and you're really showing up to all the workshops and getting on your coaching calls in 6 months, why don't you have a rental property or a tax lien or a seller finance note or done a wholesale deal? Why not? Simple answer, neglect. So let's stop that neglect. Those of you who've already been crushing it, right? You're on your 5th deal, 10th deal, 100th deal. You got your 10th team member, your 100th team member, your 500th team member. Some of you guys are out there crushing it. And you've created a real sense of control over your time. I'm telling you, this real sense of control over your time, your finances, your relationships, this is so attractive that people will overlook your looks. Right? This is so attractive. In business, a lot of people are judged by how they look. That's just one thing business does. You got to dress a certain way. But if you have your time in control, your money in control, your relationships and your health in control, people will overlook your age, your actual physical appearance. They'll overlook that you maybe don't have manners. And they'll start listening to you because you have actual control over your time, relationships, your health, your money. We all want this control, and we're putting our life energy into trying to make this control happen. But why aren't most people doing it? Well, most people, everyone is using their very best ideas. So I'll talk about Keely again for a second. When I first brought up Renatus to her, she was shaking her head saying, nope, I found a different idea that's going to help my life. So she was like, no, I got it. I got this idea. I'm working the idea, so leave me alone. Well, the good news about Renatus is whatever their idea is, it can enhance it. So she's saying, no, I got this idea. And I'm saying, dude, that idea is great if you apply banking and taxes and asset protection and all these other great things with it. So everyone is using their very best ideas. The challenge is most people haven't come across the ideas of self-development and business building skills. So their very best idea to not lose their mind is to go play video games because they can't control anything else, unfortunately. They haven't come across the ideas that can help them with controlling their time, relationships, money, and health. So everyone's using their best ideas, yet most people are still sad. Most people are still frustrated. Most are still, what's the opposite of having time, money, relationships, and health? Most of them are still burned out, poor, alone, and sick. So even though they're using their very best ideas, and this is something you keep in your head, like they're not, when you're talking to someone and you're right, like their life's just not going well for them, you still got to remember this person's implementing the very best ideas they have, and this is what they've produced. So the reason I bring that up is because it's a lot easier to stay out of judgment if you understand that they're using their very best ideas. Then we don't have to judge them. What we end up doing is accepting, right? It's we either judge or accept. And people can feel it. Judge versus accept. Right? So with judging eyes, you're doing better than, worse than. I'm better than you, or I'm worse than you. This is good, this is bad, right or wrong, all the judgments. But accepting is just, it is. It is what it is, what it is. Okay, so if I'm just accepting now that this person is using their very best ideas and they're still alone, broke, sick, and poor, all those things, then this is actually becoming an easier and easier conversation, because then you just know they don't have the good ideas that you have. So you say, hey man, how about, are you open to some new ideas that are the antidote to what you're experiencing here? We got some antidote ideas, right? K through 12, TV, magazines, radio, they've all convinced you that you suck and you're poor and alone and sick. And that's what you've been manifesting. I might not use those exact words. Depends on the person. Would you like some better ideas? And then this is what we're offering, right? We're offering a better way, new ideas, a new understanding And when you accept people and you have this acceptance energy, then people are more willing to change. People are more willing to try on a new personality or try on a new action because they know that you accept them. But if you're constantly judging them and then you're like, hey, get into my business, and you're judging them, then when you say, all right, I want you to go make this change, I want you to go talk to 100 homeowners, then they're just going to feel that judgment also and not want to do it. Does that make sense? So accepting is the name of the game. Jim Rohn would say it a different way. He would say, meet them in the mess. Just don't leave them in the mess. All right, so some of the people you meet, you got to mentally go where they are, where they're living, what they're experiencing. Meet them in the mess. Say, hey, man, I see what you're talking about now, and I see the difficulties, and I see all the uphill battles that you're dealing with. I get it. I see it. And here's some solutions. Here's what this guy's done, and this lady's done, and this person's done. Meet them in the mess, but don't leave them in the mess. Because if you can meet them in the mess, they'll feel more connected to you, and they'll try harder. Okay, I just turned everyone's cameras off. That was fun. Okay, I got a few chats. What's going on in here? All right, someone help Jeff join the group. There you go, Jeff. Okay. So the idea is we want to be magnetic, right? We want to be attractive. We want to pull people in with the least amount of effort, the least amount of money, and the most yeses. And people say, yes, I'll join your team. I'll work with you. This will be awesome. So you got to clean some things up. Clean some things up in your head. So one of the things that I see being very helpful for a lot of folks is this mindset of ownership in an office or in a meeting, right? Because it could be a house tour also. This idea of ownership and this energy of ownership, the energy of ownership. There's something that happens to your energy. There's a shift when you decide that you're owning the meeting instead of participating in Scott's meeting or participating in Ryan's meeting, Zach's meeting. Right? When you actually have that ownership mindset and you're like, no, we're doing this together. That kind of mindset is so attractive that people will join your company. It's just that simple. So ownership, to me, if I'm going to look at someone's actions and I'm assessing them, right? I'm looking, I'm going, all right, does this person really own their business? Right? Wondering, I'm looking at them. But what it would look like, what I would see is them showing up early. Show up early with intent to help. There's some people who show up early with an intent to make a show and get attention. And they're like, well, man, if I show up earlier, I can get more attention sooner. So some people are like that. They're not there to help. So make sure that you are showing up early with the intent to help. Now, sometimes the help is just smile and stand there. How easy is that? Smile and stand there. All right, we got 50 guests coming today. I need you to stand right here and smile. So as they each come up the driveway, you can just say, welcome, and point at the door. That's all I need your help with. And if you have that ownership energy around it, then the people who walk in are like, wow, This is different, right? Like, this is unique. Okay, I'm glad I showed up. Something else I can see in this ownership mindset is bring guests, right? Bringing guests. Some say yes, some say no. Some show up, some don't. Some buy, some don't. But if you're constantly bringing guests, then you're still going to make money. So bringing guests. Something else I see in ownership is registering. Some people register, some people don't. If you were really owning it and you were bringing guests, you would have to register anyway. So register yourself. Really helps with the numbers. And then plugging into the trainings. Plugging in. All right, plugging into training calls, Facebook groups, right? So if you're spending time in groups, sharpening your skills, supporting other people, gaining new knowledge, engaging with people, groups, sure, spend time on Facebook. There are plenty of people in our office that are making money because they went and joined some groups, talked about how they're writing off this and that, and being independent business owners, and people come and check them out and they enroll. It's great. But they're using Facebook groups and they're interacting and engaging, right? You got to engage with people or just turn it off. So show up on the training calls, Facebook groups, plug it into the group me, making sure that you're communicating, you're in it, you're answering other people's questions. Right after a month or so, like you know more than the next guy that just joined last week. So why don't you help them? Support, plug in, train, answer questions. You know what else I see as ownership? It's an attitude. Attitude of gratitude. See, ownership people don't complain because they know that complaining can't fix anything. And if you're the owner, it's up to you to fix it. So you stay out of complain, then you figure out other ways to fix it. Right? You can either be grateful for the challenge ahead of you or you can complain about it. There's going to be challenges. So let's have this attitude of gratitude around it. When I can see that people are doing that, then I know they're going to be successful. They're going to make money. They're going to build a team. They're going to hit their goals. They're going to live their dreams. So show up early. I know some of you can't, so you stay late. Bring guests, register, plug in, and have an attitude of gratitude. If these things become a habit for you, then any amount of money you want can be yours. If you don't have this habit, it's going to take some hard work. How do we create a habit? Napoleon Hill wrote an entire chapter on habits. Okay, he calls it Cosmic Habit Force. So you can go watch his videos. You could revisit Think and Grow Rich. Check out chapter 17. But he talks about this thing called Cosmic Habit Force. So there are some people who, they get up every day at 4:30 and they're doing a workout and they check their emails and they read a book and they ate breakfast all before 8 o'clock. They got a habit of it. How can we create a habit like that, right? I think it's the Marines, where their slogan is, we get more done by 9 a.m. than most people get done all day. So why not you have that same habit? So a couple things that he says is, one, you have to repeat out loud your definite chief aim. If you don't have a definite chief aim, get off your butt and make one right now. I'm going to spell it out. Definite chief aim. What is the thing you're aiming for? Sunshine, rain, adversity, opportunity, everything that's coming at you. What are you still aiming at? What is your definite chief aim? And you need to write it down and repeat it out loud every day. Every day. Okay, we're trying to turn everything over to cosmic habit force. Okay, cosmic habit force communicates with your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind. Because consciously, you know, oh, I want to feel this way, I want to act this way, I need to eat a salad and not French fries. But then cosmic habit force, your subconscious mind says, who are you kidding? We got the habit of French fries. We got the habit of complaining. That's just what we're going to do. We're going to stick with our habits. So you need to override cosmic habit force. So part of that is going to repeat it loud once a day, your definite chief aim. Then I'm giving, by the way, if you're not taking notes right now, take these notes. These are the steps to getting what you want habitually. Okay, next is going to be repeat out loud the self-confidence formula. The self-confidence formula, will someone pull up the self-confidence formula on Google and then just post a link in the chat here? Self-confidence formula. There's a way to start talking and acting to get your subconscious mind to start doing things for you. Napoleon Hill figured it out. It takes like 45 seconds to read this thing out loud, but it's going to start affecting you in ways that are hard to measure. You're just going to feel different. Okay, so we focus on our definite chief aim. We have repeated out loud our self-confidence formula. Then we have our positive affirmations. Positive affirmations, things like I like myself and I love what I do. It's a great one. I like myself and I love what I do. But you get your affirmations going. Wherever it is that you're trying to go, you have affirmations associated with that. So cosmic habit force, when you're communicating with your subconscious mind, you also have to do visualization. And that's it's brought up in the self-confidence format. You're going to do your visualization, but I'm just writing it here. Visualization, because any and everything and only the things that have been seen and brought up in a human's mind have then become reality, right? Everything was a visualization first before it became reality. So you need to visualize. What do you want to be? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to have? Who do you want to know? So visualization for 10 to 30 minutes a day. Just close your eyes, sit, you start preparing in your mind for all these cool things that you're going to have. If a thought comes in, right, so you're like, yeah, I'm going to be on stage, I'm going to have 10 houses, I'm going to have a race car, I'm going to have a pony, I'm going to have a sailboat, I'm going to have all this stuff. And then that little voice that comes in and says, yeah, right, who are you kidding? That sounds hard. If that little voice shows up, which occasionally it does, you got to recognize that's not you saying any of that stuff. That little voice isn't you. It's some little voice, right? What you do is you just say to that little voice, thank you for sharing. And then you move on. And you bring back the visualization techniques, right? It's and why we say thank you for sharing is because you stay in gratitude. You got to stay in gratitude. You can't get mad at that little voice, because then it takes your whole energies out of whack. So you say, oh, thanks for sharing, dude. You think I can't, huh? Okay, well, thanks for sharing. Then you go right back to visualizing. I'm on stage. Bob Snyder's paying me millions of dollars. I'm buying property around the country. I have a healthy family, I have a healthy body. And just go back to your visualizations. That's one reason why, if you haven't already, what would really help with that is your vision board, your dream board. Now, if you do this enough, eventually the things you want to do will become a habit. That's what we're after here. We're trying to create habits. So I have the habit of talking to customers every day. I have the habit of selling combos. I have the habit of owning property. That's just a habit I have. I've owned property ever since I was in Renatus. 9 years I've owned property. That's my habit. Some of you, it's just a dream. So we got to turn this stuff into habits. Right? And then being grateful has now become a habit for me. I'm grateful with any kind of news I receive. To me, there's no such thing as bad news. It's just news. And I'm grateful for it. So Napoleon Hill has a really cool video on cosmic habit force that he made in like 1956. I'm going to post a link to that right now because I've been watching this. I've been watching this like every day this last week. I just found this video. I didn't know he made it. Cosmic habit force. 23 minutes. Copy link. Zoom. Chat. Paste. Nice. Okay, so the self-confidence formula is now up here. Thank you, Keely. So grab this, take a screenshot of it, print it off, save it, whatever it is. Put it in a place where you can every day see it, read it, say it, make it a part of you. And then watch this video that I made on the self-confidence formula. Or I didn't make it, Napoleon Hill made it. Self-confidence formula, cosmic habit force. These things are these are the steps. This is the equation. Now he's got more details in the video for you, but this is what I'm doing. Right? Visualizing. Millions of dollars. That's only a couple hundred people. Right? I was talking to someone the other day, helping them visualize building their team. Right? I was like, look, dude, if you stick with this and you just focus on getting your first 5. Okay, some will market, some won't. No big deal. Say these 2 guys are strictly real estate. No big deal. But the next 3, they want to build a business. Well, each of them is going to go enroll several, and 2 of them are going to go to you. And I'm helping him visualize this. And he's like, okay. I'm like, so think about it. If you, here in Denver, go and take your team out to dinner, right? This could be 1 to 2 months gone by and you got your 5 sales. And then you help this guy, and that lady. So 3 to 6 months have gone by, and now you have a team that has this many people on it. And you let it go one more time. And now you got this many people to do this many people to do that, this many people to do this and this. All these people on your team, technically, you still override all of them. You're still making money off all these people. So I'm telling them, like, dude, look, you need to change your understanding of how much money you are going to spend on pizza. Okay? If you have a team like this, you're going to buy lots of pizza. You're going to buy lots of dinners. You're going to buy, think about it. You're going to go take everybody to a movie. But, hey, guys, we just hit our goal. I'm treating everybody to a movie. You could totally do that. But you're just going to, like, think about it. If you had 100 people on your team, and you're taking them to the movies, you're going to spend like $1,500. to take them all to the movies. But to get 100 people on your team, didn't you make 2, 3, 4, 500,000? So you can spend 1,000 on pizza. You can spend 1,000 on movies, right? I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on pizza and movies. I've probably spent $100,000 to $200,000 on pizza and movies and iPads and laptops and vacations and dinners and suits and electronics and gifts and books and all kinds of a couple $100,000. So when you get that, so this is what I'm helping him with is visualization, because he was just focusing on this. But there's something interesting, and NLP talks about it a lot too, where you bind a result to another result, right? So if you get passionate about spending $1,000 on pizza for 100 people, instead of thinking about 100 people, you think about how much pizza you're going to get. Then it makes getting all these people inevitable. And so we're doing a positive double bind to an outcome that we want. How much are you going to spend? Where are you going to travel with your people? What are you going to do with them? So, and Doug pointed out in a great way. If you want eggs, feed your chickens. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. That's what we're doing here. We're feeding the goose that lays the golden eggs. You gotta be thinking about that in a bigger way, right? Like, have you ever rented out a whole movie theater for 100 people? Well, then maybe in your visualizations, in your cosmic habit force, and the things that you're doing here, you're visualizing renting out a whole amusement park for your team and their families. And you spend $5,000 and you rent out Lagoon for the whole day. You rent out Six Flags. You get your 100 buddy pass, right? I'm telling you, these are some of the tricks to visualizing a more positive outcome instead of waiting for 100 people to show up to be like, all right, now I believe I can get everyone some pizza. Just from day one, I imagine, man, we're gonna rent out the whole freaking restaurant. It's gonna be awesome. And if you go back and look at all the pictures of stuff we've done throughout the years, yeah, we've taken down whole restaurants, movie theaters, amusement parks. It's just what we do. So get a bigger vision for yourself. Cool. Cool. Okay, feed the chicken. So show up early, stay late, have ownership, and let's be more attractive. Right? There's plenty of people you can talk to today. Don't wait till the next big event. There are people you can call today. It says, hey man, thinking about you. I just talked to my mentor. We've been working on some stuff for my business. 2020 is going to be awesome for me. I'm wondering what you're working on. Are you working on anything that will secure you and your family for economically for generations to come? Here's a question to ask them. Do you have a solid economic plan for you and your family to prosper and thrive? Do you have a solid economic plan for you and your family to prosper and thrive that you can show me? I think that's an important question. We were at Super Saturday with Bob last week. We had 170 people in the room. I asked the question, how many of you have a solid economic plan for you and your family to prosper and thrive that you can show me? Do you have something you can show me? Your plan for that? You have something you can show me? One person raised their hand. Now, maybe some of them were confused by the question, but that's a pretty clear question. I would like you to show me how many of you have something to show me that is an economic plan for you and your family. And nobody has one of those. So what if you called and you asked this question 100 times? Call and ask 100 times this question to all the people in your phone. Hey man, it's been a while. I'm working on my economics. And I'm just curious, man, as I'm looking to build and copy successful people, do you have an solid economic plan for your family or for you and your family to prosper and thrive that you could show me? They're going to say, what the hell are you talking about? Man, I just found out the average 65-year-old has less than $1,000 in their savings account. That is not going to happen to me. So me and my family are taking a new seriousness with the economics available to us. And I'm just wondering what you're working on. Okay. For a lot of people, an economic recession is coming. Right? Economy, it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. Right? The economy just goes up and down and up and down and up and down. We have ups and downs and ups and downs. No big deal. Right? Ebbs and flows, expands, contracts. Before every expansion, there's a contraction. No big deal. So we've been expanding economically for 10 years. There's going to be a contraction somewhere. We don't know when. We don't know where. We don't know how long. We don't know how many people it's going to affect. We just know that there are recessions that people got to deal with, right? No big deal. But here's what I decided, and I've been helping my team to decide this. I am not participating in the next recession. I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it. Not interested in it. Most recessions are energy based. It's a mindset. It's right, like it in the land of the free, because of the brave, in the land of the most economic opportunity. In a recession, billions of dollars are still made. Billions and billions of dollars are still made. The money doesn't go away. It just changes more hands faster. That's what happens. So when some people experience lack, oh, I gotta go. I'm just letting you know I'm not participating in the next recession. I encourage you to try that same mindset on. Right? Why not, when everyone else is losing their jobs and falling behind on their bills, why not have you pick up 10 properties during the next recession and you give people safe, clean, affordable housing and you thrive? While other people are receding, you're expanding. So when you start to hear people talk about, oh, this recession, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to participate in this recession. I got houses to make. I got people to talk to. I got butts in seats I need to fill. I got stuff to do. I don't have time to participate in your perceived lack. So thanks for sharing. Not participating in the next recession. And get back out there and get to work. It's all a mindset. Cool. Okay. I got 1 minute. I gotta go. You guys have been awesome. Thanks for your participation this morning. Keely, thanks for setting us up and getting us on Facebook Live as well as Zoom. And everyone join the club. Get your Nationals ticket. Time. It is time today, not tomorrow. Get your Nationals ticket today. All right, it's $357. It will go up. Early bird special is going to expire. So get your Nationals ticket today. Today, not tomorrow. You will be so happy you did. You'll be so happy you did. So take it seriously. See you guys soon. Thanks for participating. Have a great day. Go make some phone calls. Try harder. See ya.